here to help you with breeze. Planting seeds and teaching skills. Teachers turn schoolyards to dreams. Who hate school gardens with ease?
Which one, if any, of the Oasis programs is helpful for you and why? You are listening to the School Gardens with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Leila, and this is episode 72. In the last episode, I promised to dig deeper into the world of the Oasis program suite and tell you all about it. Even though I don't particularly enjoy talking about myself, the reason I think it's necessary to talk about my programs is that confusion and unclarity will stop you from making any decision to move forward with accepting the help that I can provide. And if you're unclear about what my services can do for you, it's my job to clear it out so that I even get the opportunity to serve you. I can only serve you in a very limited capacity with my free material. So if you are serious about incorporating food gardening into your teachings, it will have to be through my paid programs, and that's why we need to talk about it. So my intention is service, but if you look at this episode as a sales pitch, please stop listening and I'll see you in the next week in another episode. Hopefully. So if you are still listening, thank you. Let's get into it. The Oasis program series is for teachers teaching grades 3 to 8. It's designed to run during class time, not on lunchtime with a garden club, not after hours for extracurriculars, and not for weekend programs, and has 3 main programs in it. So the suite of programs essentially is 3 different programs. The Oasis Classroom, a 5-lesson version, and a complete 11-lesson version. The Oasis School, and the Caja Oasis. Now, why 3? Because teachers who are interested in school gardens come from different backgrounds, different capacities, different commitment levels, different school setups, different communities, and all that. And that's why there was no way to serve you with a one-size-fits-all program. But all 3 of these programs have major things in common. First of all, they are each a series of done-for-you lesson plan packages. Each lesson has a step-by-step lesson plan, student activity booklet, classroom wall posters, a supplies checklist, and the option of material delivery for local schools in the Greater Toronto area. All 3 of the programs are like this, have these features. All 3 also come with virtual coaching throughout the program by myself. You'll have direct access to me throughout the program. So now let's talk about each of these programs one by one and also their differences. Oasis Classroom is 11 lessons, and it's for growing food seedlings indoors. It's only for indoor growing. Yes, that means it won't result in an outdoor school garden. But that does not mean that it's not impactful. On the contrary, it will be quite impressive and very impactful. We are talking about growing 800 food seedlings of 20 varieties of vegetables and fruits for a 20-student class. Now, don't panic. This won't necessarily need a lot of space because you can send some out while new seedlings come in, okay? What you need is a 6-foot table in front of a sunny window somewhere in your school. It can be your own classroom if the windows receive at least 4 to 5 hours of direct sunlight shining on the table, or it can be in an office, an arts room, a library, a vacant classroom, or even the window ledge of another teacher's classroom if they are willing and kind enough to share it with you. That means you won't need grow lights or any other fancy equipment. And obviously, no outdoor space is needed for this program. You will need seeds, potting soil, seed starter cups, buckets, and craft supplies. Of course, complete supplies lists along with suggested suppliers in Canada and the US, are included in the program material. Now, every one of the 11 lessons has a topic. Seeds, water, soil, sunlight, beneficial insects, worms and composting, etc. The exact list of teaching topics is on the registration link that's in the show notes. In every one of the 11 lessons, your students will grow at least one type of seed. Yes, even on the last lesson, which is around 2 weeks before the end of the school year. The seeds are very carefully selected for each lesson with a suggested execution week. Because timing is one of the most important aspects of growing food. You can't grow all your seeds in one session, let's say at the beginning of spring, because the timing to start tomato seeds is very different than the timing for sunflowers. There is a little bit of flexibility though, enough flexibility for the planting schedule of the program to fit all different growing zones of North America, more or less. Remember that schools close at the end of May in warmer climates and at the end of June in cooler climates. So if you start 13 to 14 weeks before the end of your school year and follow the planting schedule of every week, it will all fit very well, no matter what growing zone you're in. By the way, the list of seeds and the planting schedule is not the edge of this program that you will be paying for. In fact, the list and the schedule is freely available on the registration page. The page that you go in and it talks about all the different, features of the program and all that. This is all in there. So you can just copy and do it, right? If you feel confident to do it by yourself. I'm not keeping that a secret. The edge, the real value you will be paying for, is the step-by-step lesson plans done for you, written for you, that will make teachers' lives as easy as it could possibly get. The colorful and engaging student booklets that teachers can print and utilize while teaching each lesson. Booklets that the students can take home and share with their families. Booklets that have information about the learning topic of the week, word games, reflection sheets, and much, much more. And the classroom wall posters for each topic you can put up each week to engage your students even off the formal instructional classroom time, facilitating curiosity and incidental learning. And of course, the value is also in the complete list of materials for each lesson, including not just things you need for your planting, the seeds and potting soil and stuff like that, but also things you need for your topic-related science experiments, the soil experiments, the water experiments, etc. It's all done for you so that you not only don't need to plan anything, you won't need to have any skill than, following lesson plans and teaching. Skills you obviously already have as a teacher. And finally, part of the value is direct access to me for any questions you may have. Now, when you look at the registration fee for the Oasis Classroom and consider all of what I just told you that you will be receiving, you might be wondering why it's so affordable. Well, we don't think it's cheap, really, because you will only have the license to use the material for one school year. That means if you want to directly use this material in your classroom next year, you will need to join the program again. But the reality is, even though many teachers do this, they join the program again and again every year because they see the value in the done-for-you material and, they understand how much time and effort it would take them to prepare all of that on their own. You don't really have to rejoin. I'd like to believe you can learn the basics of topics that you can teach, their connection to your science, language, math, and all of the other subjects, gain the experience of growing seedlings successfully, and then write your own program for next year. Obviously, not copying mine. You will, in fact, sign an agreement when you join any of the Oasis programs promising that you won't copy mine or, use it again next year without the license. But you can certainly be inspired and put the knowledge and experience you gain throughout the program in the first year into writing your own programs. Now, everything we described is true about the other two Oasis programs as well. The difference between Oasis Classroom and the other two programs is indoors versus outdoors. Caja Oasis is an 11-lesson educational plan package, just like, the Oasis Classroom, but for growing an outdoor garden in the famous Caja planters. An extra material you will need to purchase on top of the Oasis Classroom material would be the physical planters, which you will purchase directly from the planter's supplier, the Growing Connections. Their planters are amazing self-watering that reduces summer maintenance and especially watering by 80%, raising the chance of success by 80%. I simply love these planters, and that's the reason I jumped at writing a lesson plan package for it as soon as they approached me. Now, what you will do in the Caja Oasis program is not just growing outdoors. You will need to grow indoors first and then transplant out in the planters. There are some design aspects that are covered in the lesson plans, including learning how to select the best spot for your planters, as well as, a lesson on summer maintenance. So Caja Oasis would be the next step type of program after the Oasis Classroom, which is only indoors, because you'll do what you do in Oasis Classroom, meaning you grow your seedlings indoors, but you also have an outdoor garden, which is very easy to set up, the Caja planters. And the Oasis School is one more step even more involved than the Caja Oasis. In the 12-lesson Oasis School program that we recommend for grades 6 to 8, your students will design an outdoor regenerative garden, build it entirely themselves using permaculture techniques and planting it. Of course, they will be planting what they grow indoors first. So the Oasis Classroom is the one that's the least involved, even though it's still highly educational and impactful. And before I forget, we have selected 2 sets of 5 of the Oasis Classroom lessons, option A and option B, we call them. You'll see it on the registration page, and created 2 smaller options for those who want to try this with even less commitment for the first year. So instead of the 11 lessons, you'll get 5 lessons. Now, if you have followed me for a while and heard about my 2-phase growing strategy, you'll know that I always recommend sticking to growing a classroom garden first year, especially if you are new to this, and then move to an outdoor garden in the years following. What you will do with the seedlings at the end of the school year, since you won't have an outdoor garden to transplant them into, you can donate them, your kids can take them home, you can sell and raise funds for your school. There are many community connections that you can make with those seedlings. And your program will be, ending at the end of the school year, and you'll go to your summer vacation with a free mind. And that's why I recommend Oasis Classroom as a, starting point. The complete 11-lesson Oasis Classroom is a great start. It will need around 1 to 2 hours of your class time per week for 11 weeks, ideally finishing 2 weeks before the end of the school year. Remember, the lessons connect to your curriculum. You'll be teaching your curriculum in the classroom garden. So don't look at this as losing 11 hours of your instructional time. Look at it as a tool that makes teaching your curriculum more fun, exciting, and engaging by adding an exciting hands-on life skill activity to your classroom that addresses the needs of different learners. And if you are up for an outdoor garden that's easy to design, set up, and maintain, I would suggest the Caja Oasis program. And if you're up for and totally committed to a regenerative outdoor garden, go for the Oasis School program. A quick reminder that you will have all you need step by step, no matter which program you choose, and you'll have direct access to me as a coach, again, no matter which program you choose. Oh, and one more thing. For those who choose the Oasis School, I will give you my School Gardens with Almost No Summer Maintenance online class for free. This class is all about designing a regenerative garden with permaculture principles, which goes so hand in hand with the Oasis School program. The doors to this class are closed right now, and the only way you can get it is through joining the Oasis School program. The link to the registration page for the Oasis Programs Suite is in the show notes. Please remember that you can always reach out to me by email with any questions you might have about any of this. And also remember that the doors to these 3 programs will close at the end of February. Because remember, you need to start your program around 13, 14, and for the Oasis School, like maybe 15 weeks before the end of the school year. After that, we will have a program for kindergarten to grade 2 in April, as well as a very small 2-lesson program for the Earth Day. And that will be it for this school year. I look forward to your questions. My email address is leilam@kidsgrowingcity.ca. That's LEILAM at kidsgrowingcity.ca, and I especially look forward to seeing you inside the Oasis programs. Talk to you next week in another episode. You've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And please share this episode with other teachers who might be interested in this topic. See you next week for a new episode.